Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Tsubaki Kori Aogami or Blue number 2 Bunka 210mm knife. So as you can see, the construction here is 3 layers. So you've got a core steel of Aogami blue paper number 2, reactive high carbon steel. Heat treats typically around 62 Rockwell. And what they've got is a soft iron cladding on either side of that. It's got definitely kind of a sandblasted kind of matte finish to it. It's a very unique looking blade, both in finish and in shape. You can read more about it on the web page, product page, but it's got a little bit of a curve to the spine. You kind of look at that spine, you can see that curve there. And it also has an extended nose on it, or tip. And you can see it does get quite thin at the tip. So it's a really interesting knife with a really cool kind of aesthetic to it, both visually and the shape as well. The weight and dimensions can vary a little bit on these, but this one is 171 grams or 6.0 ounces. The edge length on this one's about 216 or 8.5 inches. The overall length is about 360 millimeters with this handle. Spine thickness, I got about 2.9 coming out of the handle above the back of the heel, and then about 2.0 in the middle, and pretty much just kind of holds that. Might go up just a touch from there, 2.1, but you get that corner there, the reverse sword tip, and then I just kind of showed you it thins out as you get in the grind here, which is kind of in that rough area here, kind of flows down. This is probably a better shot of the grind here. You can kind of feel that right there. You can see it. I can feel it with my finger. This side of the blade, it's a little less pronounced shoulder, so it's a little smoother. So it's definitely a little flatter grind on the right side of the blade than the left. You can kind of see that right there. So here I have a little bit of a shoulder I can feel with my finger moving back and forth there. On the right side I don't. So I don't know if they're all like this. I suspect this one's pronounced enough where it's probably the case. Nice straight blade, thin at the tip, as you can see. The out-of-the-box edge, I'm going to ding this on a couple of things, and I'll put a note on the box, and I'm sure Mark will correct this, but it's got a little bit of a small chip on a couple spots on the edge itself, and then the profile itself has a little bit of a dip in it back here. We'll see that on the cutting board, so this needs to be tweaked just a little bit, but I'll put a note in there, and Mark will for sure take care of that. The blade height is about 52 millimeters, so it's pretty tall. Plenty of spot here for, pinch grip. This handle is just kind of their real basic octagonal walnut with a maple ferrule, kind of light, nothing fancy, just kind of a, get it on there kind of handle, but does the job nicely. This would be a candidate. It's kind of a unique blade, so this would be a candidate for a custom handle if you wanted one, not a problem. With this handle being pretty light, here's the circumference of it. Being pretty light, the balance point is going to be a little further forward. So if you want to move that balance point back, you could put a handle on here with a little bit longer, a little heavier wood, move it back just a little bit maybe. Up to you. There's the balance point, which is in front of a pinch grip for sure. I guess let's do this side for the beauty shot. Again, it's a real interesting looking knife. So this is the left side of the blade. Kind of just a matte finish all the way down. There's your core steel cladding line there. Again, this is the left side of the blade, which has that more of a pronounced shoulder. The right side is more just of a gradual grind towards the edge. What else here? Cutting board profile. So, is this a rocker? No. So, you will see this one has a little bit of a gap, slight gap right there, and a bit of a top, little pop right there. So this one needs a little tweaking. This one could use a slight tweak right there. But you can see the tip is very, very low. So I'm not even going to, this is digging in right there. So ain't going to happen. Now, tip draws, this thing would be amazing for tip draws. I mean, boom, draw, draw, draw. Piece of cake for tip draws. It is not a rocker, and again, with a little bit of a tweak on that edge profile, it'll smooth that out a little bit. So I'm sure Mark will kind of tweak all that. I'll give him a note, as I mentioned. So it's a very interesting knife, totally worthy of a handle upgrade. And this is the Tsubaki Kori Arogami number 2 Bunka 210mm knife.